right, so we're gonna do our warp pipe rental right now. So each week we're going to pick a game and play it like we rented it for the weekend. See what our thoughts are. Check it out, and we encourage you guys to participate along with us. If you have the game, if you have the ability to play it, check it out, play it. Let us know your thoughts in the comments, and we'll maybe read them on here. See what you thought about it. Let's check out what we thought about it.
Let's head to the video store, grab a game for the weekend. We have the box art and description to guide us when we're choosing what game to rent. So grab your rental card because this is the Warp Pipe Rental.
What game you rent for the weekend?
Nice. So this past weekend, we thought it'd be appropriate because the new Captain America movie had come out. So we rented Captain America and The Avengers on Sega Genesis. Certainly love the cover to this here. It's got Captain America on there. You can see Ultron, Vision, Red Skull, Hawkeye, Iron Man. I don't know who the other guy is, but
Crossbone at the bottom or something like
yes,
that,
yeah, I
I
believe
think?
that might be
Yeah.
Crossbone. I don't
That
know who the guy
uh,
here is with the green punching Iron Man.
I'm not sure. They kicked my butt in the game, so I never got to figure out who he was.
But the back of the box says out of the arcades and into your Genesis, because this was a arcade game, which definitely would be, quarter muncher. A lot of these beat 'em up games are. You can choose between four different characters in the game. You can play as Iron Man, Captain America, Vision, and Hawkeye. But there were also appearances by other comic book characters that would help
mhm.
you. Quicksilver would run by and give you some energy. Wonder Man, and you even did a stage where the Wasp was kind of flying with you. At
Yes.
least to
Mhm.
the stages that I went through. So that was kind of cool to see some of them on there.
Well, what did you
Um,
guys think of it?
yeah. Who wants to go?
Keith, you go. What's
You
your
go.
I'll go. It was maybe a little difficult. I don't know. I felt like I was sometimes punching them, and I wasn't hitting them like I thought I was. I think you had to be
Okay.
lined up with them really good sometimes.
Mhm.
And when I got to the second level, where it was like that shoot 'em up style, I started with Captain America because Captain
Mhm.
America is my choice for most games I'm playing, and he's an option. So I'd swapped over to Vision when I got to that point, and I felt like that was a good choice, and that second level, I kinda started to enjoy a little bit more, and the
Okay.
third level, I got my butt kicked. Pretty good. Yeah.
What level were you playing? Like difficulty level were you playing on? Normal.
Oh, I don't even know. I didn't even change that.
Oh, so
Yeah,
I
me
maybe.
didn't
neither.
see that because I was playing it on the computer, right? So, again, using the
Oh,
keyboard, trying
right.
to
Yeah,
figure it
yeah.
out, but I didn't even see that
We
when I
gotta
signed into it.
we gotta get you one of those Bluetooth controllers, I'm telling you.
Right? Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be fun. They make the NES ones, the 8-bit dough ones, so, yeah, we gotta
Yeah.
get you one. I wonder if
I'll have to
the
figure it out.
Nintendo, the Switch controllers work with it, the ones that you can buy from Nintendo that
Maybe.
actually look like the NES and their SNES controllers. They're just wireless.
Mhm.
I wonder if my Xbox controller would work. I might have to
Oh
try
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, it's Bluetooth, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Give
I
it a
mean, use
shot.
that PS3 or PS4 controller
Right?
would link to your
Guess
Mhm.
I'll see how
computer.
that goes. I wonder if it'll work with the
Yeah,
joystick.
yeah. So
Yeah.
what I noticed about this game too is like the one thing that because we just got done playing Streets of Rage, so this is kind of a similar style
Right. I
game
didn't
where
even think of that when we chose it. I was like, we should have broken
yeah,
it up more. Then go beat them
I
up
mean,
next week. Beat them up.
but I'm glad that we did because it kind of like first off you realize how awesome of a game Streets of Rage 2 is. And although like this game could be fun. This could I mean, there were moments like when I was in the second level when you were doing like that flying part. That was super fun. I did have a good time doing that kind of dodging and weaving and doing all that stuff with the enemies. But I feel like first off, every single time you got hit,
Hmm.
you like got thrown back and like took a second for you to get back up. And it was
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
literally one hit. It was like not even oh, they hit you a couple times and then you fall over. No, it was one hit and you were like tossed aside. And so like it really slowed the game down a lot. And I think that that got a little frustrating just because you're like you want to play the game. I don't think that I experienced the same hitbox as you, Keith. Um,
Yeah.
but I don't know. I did play it on a Sega Genesis. So I was right through my CRT. Um, but I don't know, maybe yeah, like if you get hit I played as Iron Man. I figured
Okay.
Iron Man would be a good way to go. So I'm glad Keith that you played as somebody else too. Um, but yeah, I don't feel like it was clunky, but it was definitely like it wasn't like smooth. I don't know how I'm trying to describe it, but like it just you did have to line up a little bit. But I don't think it was terrible.
Okay.
No.
It was okay for me, if I'm
Were
being
you
honest.
having issues when I was Vision? I played as all the characters because I kept
Right.
on dying. So I was
Mhm.
jumping up and doing, like, the shot, like, the horizontal or
Yes,
the
yes,
Mhm.
at
yes.
angle. That's when I
Yep.
was kinda having a hard time hitting some of the guys. I was like, "Come on, let's go," and then they whack me, so I landed
See,
right.
I feel like I was doing pretty good with that, actually.
Yeah.
Like, coming
Hmm.
up and then going, like, kinda diving down on them. I feel like I did okay on that, but
And it
I
might
don't
have been
know.
because I wasn't using a controller, right?
Could be. Yeah, 100%. What about you, Russ? What did you think?
A couple notes I put. I did like that there was like comic book scene intros to each level, like it was a page
Mhm.
out of the comic, and it kind of
Yeah.
got you pumped for like, okay, this is what we're getting into. The voice sampling was okay. Like it had some voice acting, like sample things in there, so your characters come to life.
Mhm. Yep.
Um, let's see. And I thought it was again with this comic book feel, when you were like punching the people, words would appear. So kind of reminded me of like the old Batman, like bam, pow, swap,
Right.
all that stuff. So it's like, all right, they're leaning into the comic book phase of that. And let's see, the shooting levels again, I guys mentioned, I thought that was a good switch up. So it's not
Mm,
all beat 'em up. And if you were a
right.
character that couldn't fly, like if you weren't Vision or um, Iron Man, you would just ride in like a mobile thing.
Well, Iron Man flew.
Right, so I said Vision and
Yeah.
Iron Man would fly,
Oh, I
Hawkeye
see,
or
I see, I see.
Hawkeye or,
Hawkeye and Cap
Captain
woulda
America.
been.
Oh, I see.
And then it does go to like an underwater level where you would do, similar, under the water instead of flying, so I thought that was
Mhm.
kinda neat. And then what else did I put here? So, I didn't know any of the, mid bosses or the regular
Mhm.
bosses. Like, they didn't spark any, like, memory of, like, hearing about
Right.
them. The only one was Ultron. When I got to him, I was like, "Oh, okay, yeah, Ultron, I remember him," but no one else. I'm like, "Who are these characters? I've never heard
Yeah.
of these characters." So that kinda dropped the ball on that. And I said, "I wish there were more moves that you can do." I kinda
Yeah.
felt bullied by the enemies coming out. You get hit and then bounce back, and then you're like, "Alright, I gotta get up again." You could get, like, a few hits in, boom, you get
Right.
hit again, and I would just
Yeah.
go through I was playing on easy. I put as much
Right.
as lives as I could. I think it was 7 or whatever. So I did change characters,
Mhm.
a little bit, but
Which
kinda
actually,
difficult.
when you mentioned the lives, I was
Mhm.
reading the manual because I actually I do have a copy of this,
Nice.
and when I was reading the manual, um, I believe it said that you get a certain amount of continues, and if you pull up the gameplay again, you'll notice at the top it'll say C equals 7.
Yes.
So you technically only get 1 life, but 7 continues.
Oh, that's how they split it, okay.
Isn't that
And
that's
the
that's pretty interesting the way they.
like, taking damage was interesting too because like, I didn't see a bar that was like, "Oh, I've got this much health left," right? But
No, it's the
their
number.
Yeah,
picture at the
28 right
top
now.
Yeah.
and the top, the picture keeps changing, like, you start to get more damaged, I think, from what I
Oh,
could
like
Oh, I
his
tell.
never
his
noticed
picture,
that.
maybe? Like
Yeah,
the
I think
Doom
that's
guy?
what I saw. Yeah, because Vision I turned to red, yeah, right
Oh,
there, you
yeah,
Oh,
got
see,
look
right, he
see?
see
just
how he's
changed. Yeah, okay.
yeah. So
I
that's
just
an
noticed the
interesting and
number
neat
going down.
thing, and I didn't even notice the number because I was watching the I didn't know what the number meant. I didn't realize that was your health. I
Yeah.
was watching the face.
Yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
some
I
strange
think this one's
options for sure.
on Super Nintendo too.
Yeah, I did
Yeah,
notice. I
yeah.
I had the copy on Sega, so I just suggested it on Sega. So I was like, okay, so
yeah,
maybe it
yeah,
plays slightly different on Super Nintendo, but
Yeah.
it's the
yeah.
one we chose there. So
So what do you guys?
what are we gonna
What
rate
do you
it?
want to rate
Right?
it?
What are we gonna rate it?
Go ahead,
I'll
Keith.
go.
What do you
I'll
got?
go
All right.
first since he's thinking there. Um,
Okay.
Again, since playing it back to back to Streets of Rage, I'm gonna give this one a 3 star. I think 3 stars is it's enjoyable. Could be better.
Okay. I'm gonna go
David?
2.5
2.5.
because if you do compare, I mean, in my mind, like I'm also going by the fun level. So like, compared to Streets of Rage, I just didn't have as much fun with it. The music was just kind of bland. Um, Maybe because I'm so used to like epic soundtracks with like the Marvel movies. This one just seemed eh. Um, and yeah, I was kind of like, all right, I'm playing the game.
It's here. It
I'm
exists
all right, it exists. And which is a bummer too, because I bought it because it was recommended to me. And I don't think I ever played it until now.
till now. What
So
about
if
you,
anyone
Keith?
needs a copy, let me know.
I like the box art on it for sure. The box art looks good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
on the Sega with that shine on it. I'd give it a 3. It wasn't the worst Captain America game I've played, but definitely wasn't the best. It'd
Mm,
probably be fun on the arcade though.
sure.
Right, right. Maybe better voice acting and all that stuff.
Yeah.
We do
Yeah.
have a few comments from you guys, so we'll see what you guys had to say about this game here.
What did you say? What did you say?
Springfield, let's hear from you.
Let's jump over to, let's see. I have, I think, one on Facebook. Yeah. Matthew Durkin said, I gave this a shot a couple times this weekend. Lost to Crossbones on my first playthrough, and then to Red Skull on the second. It was a fun beat 'em up, but that dialogue was hilariously bad. They also should map the special attack to the C button rather than
Mm,
to jump and attack together.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, I had
good
trouble
call.
pulling that off. Like if you hit
Yeah.
both buttons together, you would be able to throw like cap shield or whatever.
Right. Right.
It's like you got 3 buttons on the Sega Genesis. Use them.
Yeah.
Right. Now I've never played it on the Super Nintendo, so do they utilize all the buttons on the Super Nintendo?
Right. Could be. Could be.
Yeah.
I'll
Let's
have to
see.
throw it in. I do have it.
And
Nice.
then on Instagram, we got Ty Gaming and Collection says, played it this weekend, beat it with save states using Captain America. I think if we didn't just play Streets of Rage 2, I would have thought of this to be a great game, but the hitbox detection on this game was really unforgiving.
Mm,
Overall, it wasn't a bad game, but I feel like the Streets of Rage just did it better when it came to Genesis side scrolling beat 'em ups.
good call.
That is, yeah.
Absolutely. I agree completely.
Yeah.
Instead of doing them the beat 'em ups back to back, this way you have the comparison. So fortunately,
Yeah.
I have to do that on there.
100-hour RPG. Let's do a 100-hour RPG next.
Well, we're gonna we have a good one for this week. So next week's game is going to be Super Metroid on the Super Nintendo. So
Nice.
pull the game out. I know we should have a good time with it. I will tell you guys this. I've never played the game, so this is going to be a new experience for me.
Me either, but it sounds super.
You guys are
I
killing
heard,
me. Neither you
I
played
heard,
Super
Right?
Metroid.
I heard it's on a super console too.
Oh, super duper.
Super duper console.
So have a super weekend with Super Metroid.
There we go.